It's a completely normal question. Are you working today? When are you off work? Do you work tomorrow? When are you taking holidays? I honestly don't know how to answer it. It's an odd question for me. Normal thing that normal people ask each other all the time. The truth is, I'm working every waking moment of my life. But I don't know how to say that without it sounding kind of insane, like I'm lying, or my life is hell, or I have some kind of addictive personality problem or something because I can't stop working. The reality is, I'm an artist, so I'm always working. My life is working all the time. That word artist has been hijacked so much in popular culture. And that's why it's great when you find something like this, Rick Rubin's new book, The Creative Act, A Way of Being. He articulates it in a really great way. Rick Rubin has worked with Slayer, Chili Peppers, The Strokes, Johnny Cash, this insane resume. And what he's done in the book is he's kind of zoomed out of his decades of experience, and he's looked at all of these artists and all these kind of creative people, and he's looked at it from the position of, okay, what facilitated the creation of good art? This is not a checklist that you can go through and then pop out the other side and creating great work. It's not that. It's more about what you can do in your own mind and in your own behavior to create the situation for yourself where you can allow art to come forward. What can you do to do that? And again, it's on a checklist. He's not saying get up at 6 in the morning and do 20 push-ups. He's not doing that. That might be the thing for you. What he does instead is he tries to get you to think about the mindfulness state from this sort of zoomed out, top-down, bird's eye view of the creative act itself. I like that he distanced himself completely from it. And it's not solely about music at all. It's just about art, period. Or really anything involving creativity. So, and creativity often gets associated with, people who play instruments or paint or this kind of thing, but it's also just people who want to start a business. That's a creative act. Any act of creation, which is where the symbol comes from on the cover. It's the monad, which, pretty clever, and got a little bit of a esoteric jazz going on there, but it makes sense. And I like that he used that on the cover. It's sort of because that's the seed of creation, the singular point of creation from there. The creative act of a lifestyle change. That in itself is a creative thing. If you decide to start eating better, living better, going to the gym or this kind of thing, that in a way is a creative act. You're influencing your body, you're undertaking a form of creation in itself just by doing that. Any act that puts a finger in the river of your life, that is a creative thing that will flow through. I think that as an artist, quite often a lot of us, we spend so much time alone in our own little world, in our own kind of our own sort of procedural way of doing things, that we don't realize that, hey, even the best athletes in the world, they have coaches. Good coaches bring a great performance out of the athletes. It's kind of like the Rick Rubins of the world bring out a great performance in these musicians, because it can only help. It can only help you dig through their nuggets of wisdom that they're sharing with you from their own experience and what they have found works with other creative people, and you can apply it to yourself. One nugget can totally transform the way that you approach a project, and that will completely change the way that it develops and that it's made and that it manifests, and then when it comes out into the world, that could completely change the way that it's received. The object isn't to make art, it's to be in that wonderful state which makes art inevitable. Robert Henri. Here's some of the chapter titles. Everyone is a creator. Tuning in, the source of creativity, awareness, the vessel and the filter, the unseen, look for clues, practice, submerge in the great works. Nature is a teacher, nothing is static, look inward, memories in the subconscious, it's always there, setting, self-doubt, make it up, distraction, collaboration, intention, rules, the opposite is true, listening, patience, beginner's mind. I'm only a third of the way through, but you get the idea. Solid stuff. Everything is covered. It's, again, decades of dealing with creative, artistic people and getting them into the state where art can happen.